Welcome to another episode of Politics with Samuel. Today, like yesterday, we'll be taking on the impeachment trial of Donald Trump. But today we're going to be taking on the prospect of a Trump conviction. The reason we'll be doing this is based on the statement by Senator Thurn of South Dakota and Senator McConnell of Kentucky, both saying they are still open to the prospect of convicting the former president. Senator Thurn is the GOP whip, and Senator McConnell is the GOP leader. Today we'll be taking a look at some Republican key votes, and they're going to be taking a look at Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin and how his complete opposition to this may impact the 2022 midterms. Let's take a look. The first senator we're talking about today is Senator Murkowski of Alaska. Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska. Senator Murkowski said the following statement: "After the American people see the story of what happened there, I don't see how Donald Trump can be elected to the presidency again." She also further said, "The evidence presented thus far has been pretty damning." Previously, she had called on President Trump to resign. She has been one of Trump's fiercest critics during this, and I think she could be a likely vote in the Trump impeachment. The second person is Senator Thurn of South Dakota. I know we've spoken about him previously in the video, but we're going to go into depth about him. Senator Thurn is a big deal. He has a huge role. I know back when we were talking about the House, everyone was talking about Congresswoman Liz Cheney, as she was the top 3 Republican. Thurn has even more power in the Senate than that. He is the top 2 Republican. And even him saying that he is open to the possibility of conviction opens up the door for other senators being open to it as well. He said, in referring to the Democrats' case, they are doing a good job connecting the dots. Now, this statement may seem like an obscure little statement, but what he's saying here is a big deal. And here's why. Connecting the dots, how the January 6th trial, what happened at the Capitol, directly relates to President Trump, is the entire basis of the impeachment trial. That is what they are debating. That is what the impeachment is about. And the fact that he says that the Democrats are finding clear correlation between the two events shows that he is open to the prospect and is listening like a juror, to see if President Trump did indeed commit impeachable offenses. The next Republican we'll be going into is Mitch McConnell of Kentucky. Now, we will not minimize the fact that Kentucky is a red state. It is as red as states get. Kentucky is a state that voted for Trump overwhelmingly. McConnell has even had trouble in his home state winning elections previously and is not loved among Republicans or among Democrats. Yet, a Politico article that came out this morning had the headline, "McConnell might vote to convict." The top Senate Republican is open to the idea of convicting a GOP president. This is a big deal. I'm not sure if we all remember, but back in Trump's first impeachment trial, just a single senator voted to impeach him. A freshman senator, Senator Mitt Romney, voted to impeach him. One senator. McConnell wasn't that much open to the idea. The fact that he's now considering to convict is a big deal. CNN had a similar headline saying that the GOP leader undecided on impeachment. The fact that he is considering, we will not minimize the fact that this is a big deal. The next senator is Bill Cassidy of Louisiana. Like Kentucky, Louisiana is a red state. It is a southern, old South state. It's a state that voted for Barry Goldwater in 1964, one of only very few to do so. it has Republican roots, and the fact that Senator Bill Cassidy is considering voting for impeachment there is a big deal. He actually was one of the few senators to change his vote on impeachment, on whether or not impeachment was constitutional yesterday, saying that the Democrats' case was compelling. They made a compelling case. He also stated something that should make all people feel happy, that there is still nonpartisanship left in the system. He said, quote, "If I am an impartial juror and I see one side is doing a good job and the other side is doing a bad job, I'm going to take for the side that's doing a good job." The Democrats, he said, case was very compelling. If he's saying this, there is a chance that Senator Bill Cassidy will vote for impeachment. The next senator is a moderate senator from Maine, Senator Susan Collins. She has not been one of Trump's fiercest allies. She voted against the repeal of Obamacare. She was undecided in the first trial. In 2016, she refused to endorse him. She refused to campaign with Trump in her 2020 re-election campaign. She does not support Trump that much. But still the fact, she is a Republican. She works for the GOP. And yet, she said she is not ready to decide how she will vote in impeachment. The fact that any GOP senator would even consider impeachment is improbable. The fact that we have this huge list here is nearly remarkable. The next senator is Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania. Senator Toomey is not running for another term. This is his final term. So he would seem like a probable person to vote for impeachment. He can have no political attacks on him in the future. There will be no problem for him on this, and yet he can ultimately do what he feels right. He has previously asked Trump to resign, like Lisa Murkowski, and said should go away as soon as possible. That does not sound like a man who likes the president, supports the president, or agrees with the president's positions on the following issue. And I think he, like Senator Murkowski, like Senator Collins, is a plausible target for the Democrats and a plausible person to vote for impeachment. The next senator is also from a red state, Nebraska, the Republican Red Wall. The senator I'm referring to is, of course, Senator Ben Sasse. He stated the following statement: "The fact that U.S. troops have been pushed into barricades for federal troops for the first time since the Civil War is the result of a particular lie." Now, I think all of us can assume what the particular lie was. It was President Trump's falsehoods in relation to the 2020 election, in which he falsely claimed that the election was stolen from him, and other falsehoods that led to the January 6th attack on the Capitol. Ben Sasse could have political problems, though, if he votes for impeachment, which seems likely. It doesn't seem very likely, but it's possible. He will likely be primaried. When he runs again, if he even wins, I would not be sure, because any member on this list who votes for impeachment will be primaried and will likely, probably, not likely, there's a chance, they will not even win their party's renomination. Voting for impeachment, with the exception of Susan Collins and Pat Toomey, who are not running again, voting for impeachment in those cases is possibly a political sword to your political career. The last senator I'd like to go through is Senator Romney. Now, I know you're all thinking, Senator Romney voted for impeachment. Why has political recompensation not come to him? Well, since he was the single senator to vote for impeachment, didn't make his intention public till 3 hours before, and didn't really make it a big deal. He also wasn't the biggest favorite of President Trump before, yet he still won. I think that's why he wasn't attacked in Utah. But he's already voted to impeach Trump. What's stopping him from voting to impeach Trump again? Now, I'd like to read you a quote that he said. This quote may seem very nonpartisan, and it does. But it just shows that he is considering again voting to impeach the president. He said, "I'll of course hear what the lawyers have to say for each side." And if you remember what Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana said, Democrats' case has been compelling. Romney might be thinking, based on the cases, Democrats have a better case than Republicans. And as we've already spoken about, Republicans, didn't do the best job with their cases. And they sort of flunked yesterday. Now I'd like to speak about Ron Johnson. I'm sure you're all wondering, we really want to know about what's going to happen with Ron Johnson and Wisconsin. So I'm here to talk to you about that. Senator Johnson is an interesting person. He's a Republican in a state that President Biden won. He's in Wisconsin, a state part of the former quote-unquote blue wall. Wisconsin voted for Trump in 2016. It voted for Biden in 2020. But Wisconsin has blue roots. You might be saying, it went for Trump. How does that blue roots? Here's my proof. Since 1992, that was the first time in 2016, since 1992, that Wisconsin voted for a Republican. It voted for Barack Obama overwhelmingly, both times. It voted for Biden. It voted for Clinton both times. It voted for Democratic candidates almost all of American history, for lots of American history. But he is a hardcore Republican. But he got unlucky with how his re-election bids have went. 2010, Republican wave year, he ran then. 2016, Trump wins Wisconsin. He runs then. 2022, could it be a Republican wave year? That's a possibility. Could it be a neutral year? That's also a possibility. But I'd like to read you this quote just showing how extreme he is on the issue. He says, "Well, I always believed," here's what he said about impeachment. "Well, I always believed the Russia hoax was a diversion operation from the corruption going on in the FBI and otherwise." And he said, "What is impeachment all about? Is it just another diversionary operation?" I don't mean to insult anyone in any way, but this is mumbo jumbo. What he's saying here is a combination of falsehoods and lies. The Russia investigation, some may claim was a partisan charade, some may claim it wasn't, but it was a necessary investigation in order for American people to understand what really was going on in their government, to make sure that people had trust in their government. But the Russia investigation was not about hiding corruption by the speaker. Impeachment is about giving due justice to the president for what he did. It is in no single way about a cover-up within the government. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video about impeachment and certain senators' reasons to support or not to support impeachment. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.